Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to the online sessions, Royal Palace PU College. I am your new chemistry lecturer, Mr. Kota Naresh. I have 10 years of experience in this teaching, and especially I'll be dealing with the competitive part. And today we are going to start with a theory session only. That too one of the important topics of chemistry, that is physical chemistry, that is electrochemistry. Electrochemistry. So let's see the basic, let us see the term, basic term. What does this mean? Electrochemistry. Electro here stands for electricity. Electricity. Chemistry, as you know, we are dealing with some chemical reactions. Some chemical reactions. Especially here, we are talking about redox reactions. Redox reactions are basis of electrochemistry. Now, what is electrochemistry actually? It is a branch of chemistry that deals with interconversion of chemical energy into electrical energy and vice versa. That means electrical energy can also be converted to chemical energy. So what is electrochemistry? It is a branch of chemistry that deals with interconversion of chemical energy to electrical energy and vice versa. That means electrical energy to chemical also. Now, what is chemical energy and what is electrical energy? Chemical energy is nothing but the energy which is stored in chemicals. Electrical energy, as you know, it is nothing but due to flow of a charge or electrons. Now, how these two are related? How these two energies are related? For example, let us take one common example, oxidation. Some oxidation reaction I am considering. Now, in the first year, first PUC, you have studied what is oxidation. In terms of electrons, what is oxidation? Loss of electrons is said to be oxidation. Let us assume some general example. Some metal M undergoes oxidation, okay, to form M plus electron. To form M plus electron. So, if a metal undergoes oxidation, it liberates what? Electrons. It gives electrons. What are electrons? What are electrons? Electrons are nothing but charged particles. They are charged particles. Right or not? Now, these electrons, if they move through a wire, if they are moving through a wire, let us assume you have taken a metal rod and this metal rod is undergoing oxidation, let us assume. So the electrons from the metal rod are moving outside of the rod because metal is undergoing oxidation. It is giving out electrons. Now this flowing of electrons, this moving out of electrons is nothing but what? It is nothing but current. Current is nothing but electrical energy. Flow of electrons is nothing but current. Current is nothing but what? Electrical energy. So what is happened? some chemical energy in the metal is converted into electrical energy, in this process. Okay, that is oxidation process. Similar thing in redox reactions, you know that oxidation can also takes place in redox reactions. Oxidation can also takes place, and reduction reactions also takes place. First of all, what is redox? Redox means both oxidation and reduction occurring simultaneously is called redox. Now why I have said here especially redox reactions, because electrons either get lost or electrons either get gained. Loss of electrons is oxidation, gaining of electrons is reduction. So in this process what is happening, either the electrons are moving out of the metal, or sometimes electrons are taken by the metal. Okay, so when these electrons are moving, automatically electrical energy or current is produced by which type of reactions? By redox reactions. So what are redox reactions? Oxidation and reduction occurring simultaneously are said to be redox reactions. Now in this I am going to mention one specific term called as spontaneous redox reactions or spontaneous reactions. Now why I am taking this term means, basically electrochemistry is defined as, it is the branch of chemistry that deals with interconversion of chemical energy to electrical energy by spontaneous redox reactions. Now spontaneous redox reactions means what? Spontaneous, in the first year thermodynamics you have studied this term spontaneous. Any reaction can occur by itself. Any reaction can takes place by itself without involvement of external reagents or external factors, is said to be spontaneous reaction. So if any reaction takes place spontaneously, then its chemical energy spontaneously will get converted into electrical energy. So if any reaction takes place spontaneously, let us assume there is some metal M. It will readily undergo oxidation to form M, N plus and N electrons. Let us take one example. Sodium is there. You know, alkali and alkaline earth metals readily undergo this reaction to form one electron, right? So sodium can easily give out one electron, as you know, because of they are very low IP. So it can easily give out electron. So either you can take Mg also. Magnesium can readily undergo oxidation to form Mg plus 2 and 2 electrons, right? So these reactions occurs spontaneously. So any reaction that is occurring without involvement of any external factors or any external variables, then that is said to be spontaneous reaction. But if any reaction does not occur, any reaction that will not takes place by itself is said to be non-spontaneous reaction. Non-spontaneous reaction. Non-spontaneous reaction. Let us take one simple example here, non-spontaneous reaction. In the first year you have studied Kastner-Keller process. Kastner-Keller process. What is the Kastner-Keller process? It is the process of production of caustic soda. Caustic soda. What is caustic soda? Sodium hydroxide. From where do you get sodium hydroxide? In the first year you might have studied. In Kastner-Kellner process, aqueous solution of sodium chloride on electrolysis produces sodium hydroxide, caustic soda, sodium hydroxide. If you simply leave NaCl in a beaker, will it convert itself to NaOH? No, it will never convert. You take a glass, put some salt in that and leave it at room temperature, somewhere like that. Will it itself convert to sodium hydroxide? No, it will never convert it to sodium hydroxide. But if you pass current through aqueous sodium chloride solution, then it can be converted to sodium hydroxide. This is a non-spontaneous reaction. Why? Because itself it will not take place until and unless you will pass current through this solution, you will get sodium hydroxide. So that means some chemical reactions will take place by themselves, in which chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Some chemical reactions cannot take place by themselves. Okay? There what is happening, we are supplying electrical energy and that electrical energy is getting converted to chemical energy. That means sodium chloride is we have taken, which is converted to a new chemical, sodium hydroxide, with the help of current. Here we are passing electrical energy that is converted into new chemical, sodium hydroxide. So electrochemistry deals with interconversion of chemical energy to electrical energy or electrical energy to chemical energy by spontaneous and non-spontaneous processes. This is the basic thing you need to understand regarding electrochemistry. So what is the basis for electrochemistry? Which reaction is the base of electrochemistry? Redox reactions. What are redox reactions? The reactions in which oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously are said to be redox reactions. Okay? So once again, what is electrochemistry? It is a branch of chemistry that deals with interconversion of chemical energy to electrical energy or electrical energy to chemical energy. In that, two types of conversions you can see, two types of redox reactions can occur: spontaneous, non-spontaneous. Spontaneous reactions means what? They occur by themselves, no need of external factors. Non-spontaneous reaction means what? They cannot occur by themselves. These reactions require some external factors. Okay, those are non-spontaneous. One example you take. Alkali and alkaline earth metals, they will easily undergo oxidation to form their respective ions. In that, electrons are generated. So chemical energy converted to electrical energy. Example, you take Kastner-Kellner process in non-spontaneous reaction. If you leave sodium hydroxide solution in a glass for some time, it will never convert to sodium hydroxide or caustic soda because it is non-spontaneous at room temperature. So what we are doing? We are passing current through aqueous sodium chloride solution. So when you pass current through aqueous sodium chloride solution, then electrolysis takes place producing caustic soda, that is sodium hydroxide. So here what is happening? Electrical energy you are supplying. That electrical energy is utilized to produce new chemical, sodium hydroxide. So electrical energy is getting converted to chemical energy. Electrical energy is getting converted to chemical energy. Here what is happening? Here chemical energy which is stored in the metal is converted to electrical energy in the form of electrons. In the form of electrons. So this basic concept if you keep in the mind, then everything in electrochemistry you can understand. Okay. Now here I said you that there are some spontaneous redox reactions and non-spontaneous redox reactions. In that what is happening? Chemical energy converting to, in that processes, chemical energy is converting to electrical energy, as well as electrical energy also converted to chemical energy. So we talked about some spontaneous reactions and non-spontaneous redox reactions. Now we have next concept, that is galvanic cells. Now what are galvanic cells? Galvanic cells are also called as electrochemical cells. Okay? Electrochemical cells. Basically, electrochemical cells, okay? First let us start with the word electrochemical cell, then we will see galvanic in this. Electrochemical cell, you can see from the term itself, electrochemistry. So what is electrochemical cell? The device or the apparatus which can be used for conversion of chemical energy to electrical energy or electrical energy to chemical energy. Such type of cells are called as electrochemical cells. And what does electrochemical cells indicate? Nothing but, you see, we are using batteries. Batteries, either Nippo battery or Eveready battery, whatever, your button battery in the watch. Which type, whatever the type of battery you are taking, what is happening inside the battery? The battery contains some chemicals. And once the reaction starts between the chemicals, what is happening? Potential is generated, electricity is generated. So you are using in TV remote certain batteries. So that batteries internally they contain chemicals. Due to the redox reactions, current is produced by the battery so that it is operating the remote, right? So such a type of batteries or the cells in which electricity can be converted to chemical or chemical can be converted to electricity, that type of cells are called as broadly electrochemical cells. In this we have two types. Electrochemical cells, again they are divided into two types. That is galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. So broadly electrochemical cells are divided into two types: galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. So what are electrochemical cells? The devices or the apparatus or the cells in which chemical energy converted to electrical energy or electrical energy converted to chemical energy are called electrochemical cells. Now let us see the first type, galvanic cells. Galvanic cells are also called as voltaic cells. Galvanic cells are also called as voltaic cells. Now this is the another name. So what is the definition of galvanic cells or voltaic cells? The electrochemical cells in which chemical energy is converted converted into electrical energy, are said to be galvanic cells. Okay, so what are galvanic cells or voltaic cells? The electrochemical cells in which chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Okay, reverse you should not say, only chemical energy converted to electrical energy, then such type of cells is called galvanic cells or voltaic cells. Okay, similarly, what are electrolytic cells? Electrolytic cells are the electrochemical cells in which electrical energy is converted into chemical energy, Such type of cells are called electrolytic cells. Understood? So broadly, electrochemical cells are divided into two types: galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. Now, what are galvanic cells or voltaic cells? The electrochemical cells in which chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. What are electrolytic cells? The electrochemical cells in which electrical energy is converted into chemical energy are said to be electrolytic cells. Now, in our syllabus, we have a detailed study of one of the galvanic cell called as Daniell cell. And this cell you have also studied in your SLC, or I think in first PUC also you will come across Daniell cell. So we have detailed study of one of the examples of galvanic cell, that is Daniell cell. Okay. So the Daniell cell example, the construction, working and its explanation, I'll see you in the next class. Thank you for now.